And we are live, back at it again. The Ava Comedian Podcast is back in motion. Also, welcome to this new segment that we're starting to call the Quarantine Nation Report. Thank you for the many viewers that are coming in and out, and are actually like trying to get information from us. So I appreciate that. Buongiorno ragazzi, buenos dias, good afternoon, wherever. I don't know what, for some people it's morning, for some other people it's afternoons. Who knows? Welcome to the Ava Comedian, an entertainment branch provided by the Afro-Latino Immigrant Society, a 503 nonprofit fighting for equal rights for Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latino, Afro-immigrants, and criminal justice reform for Afro-Americans. Founded on September 17, 2011 in Zuccotti Park. Hosted by yours truly, Ras Kamara. Today, we're going to get back to the coronavirus conversation, definitely. But we just had an earthquake. Earthquakes don't happen as much as we think. So I just wanted to talk about a 7.8 earthquake in Russia. That's a big earthquake right there. You know, if it's anything more than 6 point something, you know it's a lot. So 7.8 is that was a big earthquake in Russia. So let's see what's going on over there. Make sure y'all follow me on social media. Make sure y'all follow both of these links. Like right here. I'm right here, Lena. Make sure y'all follow me this link. Follow me at J Lerma if you want to get a link of this information. I'm gonna be sharing it as soon as while I'm reading it. So you could probably go back on a timestamp on yourself on when I was talking about that. But most likely it's going to be on my Twitter account. So make sure you follow me at J Lerma. I don't be on Instagram too much, but I still have Instagram just in case I ever post on IGTV. Or at IGTV, you can program RDTV with OBS, but once it's open, I feel like there's a big crowd there that I could also exploit too. But yeah, thanks for the many followers. I noticed that my Periscope viewers have been going up. I appreciate that because I be on Twitter a lot. I don't know, let me see. I think I have more than 32,000 tweets of myself. So I never been relying on Twitter, but I always had other accounts connected to Twitter. So since I've been blocked from so many different accounts for talking about the truth, like in Instagram, my first account got disconnected. Because I was making fun of the Olympics. So not the quadriplegic Olympics, not the Special Olympics. I'm talking about the Olympics, the regular Olympics. I don't want people to be like, oh, he was making fun of special people. By the way, now that we mentioned it in the Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics were pushed back all the way to 2021. The total number of global cases has surpassed 420,000, including more than 18,500 fatalities. Over 117,000 patients are reported to have recovered. Get the latest updates. Tokyo postponed until 2021. Trump seeks a lift travel social restrictions by Easter. More than 5,000 new cases reported in Italy. Spain announced 514 deaths in one day. Prime Minister Modi of India gave 4 hours notice for a total lockdown in India. South Africa will enter a 21-day lockdown starting March 26. Information from WHO and health agencies, information from journalists. All right. So the global cases are almost reaching 500,000, which is 500,000 people. That's a lot of people. Again, let's I forgot to mention. Make sure y'all follow me on social media. Make sure that if you like YouTube more than anything, make sure you go to YouTube. Just know that my YouTube account, you can't be able to comment. So I have my Discord on the information, so you can be able to go on Discord and hit me up with a comment or any type of questions that you have. So let's get back to this. Let's get back to the news. Let's get back to talking about. I'm gonna give a daily wrap up of the coronavirus, but just want to mention for a minute. Let's talk about Russia and the current status of earthquake. Earthquakes are not as common, so this source that I have here is the San Francisco Times, San Francisco Gate. So it says the United States Geological Survey reports a preliminary magnitude of 7.5 earthquake struck near Severo-Kuril'sk, Russia on Wednesday. The quake hit at 1:49 p.m. local at a depth of 56 kilometers. There was no initial word on damage or injury resulting from the quake. More information in this is available at the USG event page. See the latest USG. So I believe the USG page is this one. How are we looking on the live stream? Seems like Oh, you see, this is what happens when you're used to computers. And the other side. Sorry about that. So let's close this page. This page is still. So yeah, this is the SGH. This is the interactive map of the location that the earthquake was located in. As you see, this is Russia. Well, this is the world technically. So let's zoom in. This happened like at 11 p.m. Eastern. So it happened almost roughly like an hour and 30 minutes ago. This is very interesting. At this time with coronavirus going on, Russia downplaying. Do you really think it's an earthquake, or do you think that Russia has some type of military? So there's still some type of proxy war, because the proximity to Alaska is crazy. Because yeah, this is very close from Alaska. I don't know how I don't know if Alaska owns all these little islands here, but I didn't even notice that it had all these islands. Look at this. It's like a ridge of like, you could actually, not walk, but there's a connection in between. Look how close the continent is. I didn't even notice this. Nobody cares because it's too cold over there, regardless of anything. But it doesn't seem like it's close to civilization, but there was a tsunami alert due to the fact that at any time a tsunami could make things worse. The areas that would be affected by a tsunami when it comes to an earthquake could be, for us, it could be Arizona, it could be California, it could be the state of Washington, and Washington was the first one to have coronavirus. So out of all the stress they're dealing with, during a pandemic, trying to get ready for a tsunami, it's like, it could be the worst thing for some people. So yeah, this coastal area, just the west coast, is on tsunami alert due to the fact that there was a 7.8 earthquake on the borders of the United States and Russia, technically. What is this? With the Kuril'sk Island. Let's search what does. How the hell you spell it again? The Kuril'sk with an I. Let's see if there's people that live there. So let's see what's the Coral Islands. This is seems like it's Japanese. I just kind of read Japanese. So the Coral Islands is actually means the Shishima Islands. It's a volcanic archipelago in Russia that stretches approximately almost, I don't know, 2,000 miles per hour. Miles, I mean, sorry, mile. Well, 810 miles, never mind. 810 miles northeast from Hokkaido, Japan to Kamchatka, Russia, separating the Sea Ordos from the North Pacific Ocean. There are 56 islands and many minor rocks, and consists of Greater Kuril and the Lesser Kuril. Total land area is 10,503 square kilometers, and the total population is 19,000 people. So people do live there. All the islands are under Russian administration. Japan claims 4 southern islands, including 2 of the largest islands, Iruto and Kunarjir. Wow, look at this. You see this? Wow. This is Iruto. As part of territory as well, Shikonatan and Hamovai Islet. I'll be right in a second. I'll be right back, guys, because I need to take a leak. Why you look so tired? Look like you work the whole day, son. Jesus. Why don't you start sleeping like she's nap tired?
Yeah.
Well, I changed the oil in my engine. I'm back. How's my voice? My voice loud. Can you put your thing to see? Give me 1 second. I'll be right here in 1 minute. Whoever's listening. Alaska. I don't know how this Alaska. I don't know if Alaska owns all this little. Damn, we got mad people live, huh?
Me.
So, shout out to support my habits. Damn. Sorry for the interruption. I'm back at this. Let's get a full review of the what's it called, the Kuril Islands, who are in the border of Russia and Japan. So let me get back to this. Where I was at, the disputed islands are known in Japan as the country's northern territories. In 2018, Russia-Japanese talks of reunification of islands with Japan resumed. So Russia doesn't want to own too much. You could tell. Russia only cares about Moscow. When it comes to other areas, they're like, only when it's needed, you know? Oh, we need Crimea now because it's getting warmer. Sorry, Ukraine. We need that area back. What's going on with the live? Are we good? Okay, we good. The name Kuril's, or why is not sounding? It's getting warmer. Sorry, Ukraine. All right, cool. We need that area back. Okay, so the name Kuril originates from autonym of the original Ainum, an island original inhabitants. So, yeah, this is owned by Russia, but this is gonna look like one of those places that Russia owns for now. But if global warming continues to be like the way it is, Russia will come back knocking on the Japanese like, "Hey, I'm the landlord." Japan's gonna be like, no. They're like, no, I'm the landlord. The Ainu people were inhabitants of Kuril Islands, although there are a few records that predate the 17th century. The Japanese administration first took nominal control of the islands in the Edo period. All right, I'm not gonna go read. So there's approximately 20,000 people within those archipelagos. I don't know what it calls, but it's basically a bunch of islands. It's kind of like when you think of, this is the cold Bahamas. The Bahamas has 600 islands. This is also a bunch of islands that some people are like, I own this one, I own this one. But Russia doesn't want to own it because Russia really don't want to take care of those islands. You could tell that, like, back in the days, this whole thing used to be one. But due to the fact that, okay, so this is like the archipelagos, it's a lot of little islands, and let's see how's the weather in the Kuril Islands actually. So apparently there have been beef in between these two countries, um, mostly correlated with this, the ownership of the island. Oh, shout outs to Salas. Salas is in the building. Salas is in the building. We're giving you the follow right now. Ips Salas. Shout outs to Salas. The Korean population overwhelmingly, this was a year ago, overwhelmingly opposed transfer of islands to Japan. Also, you do have some Russians that live in the middle of nowhere. All but a handful of Russians living in the disputed Kuril Islands in Far East Russia have overwhelmingly rejected the prospect of being transferred to Japan, a state-funded survey says on Sunday. The dispute over 4 islands which Soviet troops captured from Japan in the final days. You hear this story, bro? You hear this story, bro? This was a Japanese earthquake, man. Yo, this was a Japanese earthquake, but I knew it was gonna come to some sad East European like story. We took that shit, we keep it for The Russians were like, we have fun in those islands. Commander Putin, the only thing I ask is, can we keep the island? I'll live there, Commander Putin. I'll live there I'll live there. My whole family, my kids will live there. I promise. I promise 100 years I will live there. Master Putin. So this is a stolen island by Russia. Poor Japanese indigenous people are like, yo, can we go back to our country? Like we just didn't want to die, but it's time. So Russia has been given the islands back. I assume most of the people that live in those islands are military people. Let's see. All but a handful of Russians living on the disputed Kuril Islands in the Far East Russia have overwhelmingly rejected the prospect of being transferred to Japan, a state-funded survey says on Tuesday. The dispute over the 4 islands, which Soviet troops captured from Japan in the final days of World War II, is so acrimonious that Moscow and Tokyo have not yet signed a peace treaty to mark the end of the war. Wow. A regional election commission said last year that 11,347 over the age of 18 inhabit the island chain, which is known as the Kurilsk in Russia and the northern territories in Japan. According to the state-funded pollster, 96% of Koreans say they oppose ceding the island to Japan, so they don't want Japan to control it. People in Kuril Islands sometimes line up for our interviews so that their position was taken into account. Nationwide, maybe I'm reading Russian propaganda, who knows? VST said 77% of Russian respondents voiced opposition to transferring the Kuril Islands to Japan late last year. President Vladimir Putin said January that any deal to end the territorial dispute with Japan will need a public backing. 77% of Russians oppose ceding. Well, they really be on their neck, huh? Japan be shooting things that the Japanese government has voiced protests against planned Russian military shooting drills on a chain of disputed Pacific islands, its foreign ministry told. Both countries claim sovereignty over the island. All right, so now we open up the thing that these two countries are fighting for this territory. So this territory is very crucial for both of them. Both countries claim sovereignty over over the island chain, known in Russia as the Kuril Island. What do you think about this, Lana? Who's right? Who's wrong?
Maybe it's really an earthquake.
Maybe it's really an earthquake.
Yeah. They're very common in that area, where Japan's Khalil, Alaska, earthquakes and tsunamis are super common.
Well, the Russian thinks it's just an earthquake. Is the Russian propaganda? Or should we trust that it was just an earthquake? So let's see what Russians, real Russians, not this American Disney World Russians that we know over here, real Russians. We are opposed to the transfer of the Kuril Islands to the native Russian land, from Imperial Russia to Japan's control. We are category against this. This is our land. The Soviet army claimed the four islands in the closing days of World War II. The dispute over the 14% peninsula. If we give up to Kuril Islands, we'll show our weakness. But is it nice in there? Like, I want to know how it looks. Look at this island. Look at this big old rock, Lana. Lana. Look at this big old rock.
Когда мы говорим про японских туристов, программа сформирована таким образом, чтобы у них была возможность посетить.
This wakes her up. If she listens to Russian voice, she's like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? That shit wakes her up. You put Russian? Russians love Russia, man. They're undercover when they're in America. They act undercover. You put Russian parents, the military, man, they get happy. Oh my God, I was there in 1984. Like, okay, Russia. So the Japanese people are trying to claim this back. Bunch of Augie. That's a beautiful stone. Let's see if we get any news on the. Oh man, I keep forgetting. So there was, but there, well, I didn't hear about this. There was a earthquake in Croatia.
My life
Lana,
is inspire and encourage others to provide policy.
Lana, there was an earthquake in
My name
Croatia.
is Jay Smith. I am currently the CEO.
As we lost our number one viewer. Oh, shout outs to Viera 23455. Shout outs to you. We and you in the live. So there was an earthquake 2 days ago. 5.5 earthquake on Croatia, which is in Eastern Europe, just like Russia.
Zagrebu u zadnjih 140 godina. Jači potres je bio 1880. godine. U ovom trenutku razvidno je da postoje brojna oštećenja na zgradama, postoje brojna unutarnja oštećenja na zgradama. Pozivamo sve građane na oprez. Mi ćemo u ovom trenutku preporučiti da većina naših sugrađana u Zagrebu za sada, bez obzira što je malo hladno,
So there has been earthquakes on the area recently.
da
So
nema potrebe i panike za velikim odlascima na benzinske crpke, nego da drže razmak upravo onako kako je bila preporuka Stožera civilne zaštite zbog epidemije koronavirusa.
he said it makes it harder because of the coronavirus epidemic, because they have to self distance, but that's like in the case of New York. Shout outs to Jose Soft 82, Jose Soft 282 is in the building. Shout outs to you. So we're watching that Croatia also had an earthquake 2 days ago. So there has been a lot of earthquakes, I'm believing, on the region. Yeah, on the 22nd, a powerful earthquake struck North Croatia capital on Sunday, causing some buildings to collapse, blackouts in the city, and leaving at least one teenager in critical condition. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković said the 5.5 magnitude quake was the biggest to hit Croatia in 140 years. Plenković said all citizens should remain outside their homes amid potential aftershock, but also appealed to people to keep social distance from each other. This is the worst thing ever, because you gotta leave the house because any structure could be in danger. Then you also gotta keep distance outside. How? Look at the church, the local church. The roof just fell on top of them. So this is Croatia. Croatia had an earthquake 2 days ago.
Brian Talley. Joe Solomon. I'm a travel dentist. I've been a commissioned court officer.
And I've been an IHS dentist since
Wow, Lana, look. Lana, look at the earthquake. Wow, that was strong. Wow. So you're looking at the earthquake in Kolila Island, Kuril Islands. This was a big one.
It's 1 o'clock.
Wow.
시그널의 눈으로 두 가지 구시로 신도지 조약 다음 시그널의 눈으로 두 가지 구시로 신도지 조약 다음
What's up, Jose?
시그널의 눈으로 두 가지 구시로
Shout outs to Ann Bass of Los Angeles is in the building. Ann Bass in Los Angeles is in the building. We just had a 7.5 earthquake an hour and a half ago in Russia in a archipelago island that is owned and disputed by Russia and in Japan. There's almost 19,000 people around those islands. The earthquake was 7.8, as we see in this video right here. There was a lot of movement. There was a lot of shaking of the earth. And during coronavirus, it's the worst thing you want to have, because to deal with an earthquake while people are supposed to be so quarantined is the worst thing to deal with.
some, that's not right.
It's quite all right. Now, turkey style milk, that's not right.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons to be scared these days. How about a 7.8 magnitude earthquake that has struck off the coast of Russia? Emergency management, the state of Hawaii is issuing a tsunami watch. Based on all available data, a tsunami may have been generated by this.
As I can, by the way, my channel, we have some breaking news. We had a magnitude 7.8 earthquake. It's been reduced to 7.5 off the coast of Russia. This time there's tsunami.
So this is all the earthquakes that have been measured recently. So you have different reads. The last big earthquake was well this one, the 7.8. It decreased to a 7.5. It was felt 37 miles away from Hawaii. Wow. So it says here, Hawaii message number 3, Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, EWA Beach, Hawaii, 5:43 p.m. To emergency management of the state of Hawaii. The tsunami watch is canceled for the state of Hawaii effective at 05:53 p.m. Sea level readings from the... Is this disrespectful, motherfucker? It's not coming. It's my lunch, man. Interrupt me. Sorry, guys. Freaking disrespectful motherfucking German roach. Freaking Germans. Sorry about that. Sea level readings from the nearest two deep ocean darts causes now confirm there is no tsunami threat to Hawaii, although some small sea level changes may occur. An earthquake has occurred with the preliminary parameters. Origin time 0440, coordinates 40.0 north, 157.7 east. Location east of the Coral Islands, magnitude 7.5 moment. Evaluation. Based on all available data, there is no tsunami threat to the state of Hawaii. Therefore, the tsunami watch for Hawaii is now canceled. This is the final message issued for this event unless additional bad data. So, this is basically agencies messaging each other. This is a very interesting, funny way that they communicate. This message is issued for information only in support for the UNESCO IOC Pacific Tsunami Warning and Mitigation System, and is meant for national authorities in each country of the system. National authorities will determine appropriate levels of alert for each country and may use additional or more refined. Notice. The tsunami forecast is unchanged in this moment. An earthquake preliminary magnitude 7.5 occurred east Coral. Based on all available tsunami threat from this has now passed. There is no longer a tsunami. So yeah, good thing we have a good communication level here. Because if you go back, let me see what was the first message. It says here, tsunami message number 1, Pacific Tsunami Warning Center of Hawaii. Warning, notice. This message is issued for information only in support of the UNESCO Tsunami Warning and mitigation system, and is meant for national authorities in each national authorities will determine the appropriate level of alert. On earthquakes with preliminary magnitude of 7.8 occurring in the coastal east, recommendations, actions, government agency. Shout outs to Sergio. Sergio's in the building. Government agency responsible for threatened coastal areas should take action to inform and instruct any coastal population at risk in accordance with their own evaluation. Just so you know, this tsunami alert has been canceled, but I'm just reading the initiative communication. At risk is in accordance with their own evaluation procedures and the level of threat. Persons located in threatened coastal areas should stay alert for information and follow instructions from national and local authority. Estimated times of arrival. Estimated times of arrival (ETA) of the initial tsunami wave for places with potential tsunami threat. Actual arrival times may differ, and the initial wave may not be the largest. A tsunami is a series of waves, and the time between waves can be 5 minutes to 1 hour. Uru. Potential impacts. A tsunami is a series of waves. The time between wave crests can vary from 5 minutes to an hour. The hazard may persist for many hours or longer after the initial The next message will be issued in an hour or sooner if the situation warrants. Authoritative information about the earthquake from the U.S. Geological Survey can be found at the earthquake. So everything is Gucci. No alert. Shout outs to J Ren. Is it J Ren? J Ren is in the building. So we had an earthquake. J Ren, here's the earthquake. Here I have a little bit of a. Sorry, miss a second. We have a few pictures, a few videos of the. This is a commercial. What was that? So we had a little bit of a shaking. 7.8 is a big earthquake. That's like big time earthquake. This is not no playing around earthquake. Look how the earth basically moved like it was jello. That's scary. This is in a coastal area in between Japan and Russia. After World War II, apparently Russia took that island from the Japanese. You know, the Japanese, the Germans, and the Italians were bad mullahs during World War II. So I'm guessing the Russian military took these islands. That's why it's named as Russia. But in the last 2 years, Russia has been trying to negotiate giving back all these islands back to Japan. So another L for Japan, man. Japan was trying to get ready for the Olympics, and now the whole Olympics dream has been canceled due to the fact that the Olympics cannot be. It's a no-no because you just had a Pacific Tsunami Warning Center waves possible in Russia. That was 2 hours ago. It's already have been canceled, so no worries about that. If you're in the East Coast, if you're in the West Coast, there's no need to worry about no tsunami anymore. Shout out to Jiren is in the building. Oh, there was an earthquake in Montreal apparently. Hold on. Let's see, is there? So the tsunami alert has been canceled. Let's see if there was a real earthquake in Montreal, because one of the guys just said that there was an earthquake in Montreal. It gotta be a Russian inside there pushing the. Oh no. Be right back. Oh, they traveling now, man. This is traveling time for the cockroaches here, apparently. Sorry, no. No. we. Quarantine Nation report is coming to you live. Back at it again. With some new information. Let's get it. So we just had the president's for at least 40 minutes. It was shorter than the previous press conference that we've been having. This one was full of a lot of hate. This one was mostly focused on the economy. The president declared that he's already calling it that by Easter, by April 12th, he will be having the country back running in motion. Something that I don't know if it's something that he should do because the coronavirus is currently it's not even at its peak. We don't know how coronavirus is going to react in other states different than New York. So for him to declare that in April is back in motion is very irresponsible because there's currently people dying from left and right. So there was no concern about the people that were dying left and right. No concern at all. And presidents are there for popularity effect. This president is there for reassurance of corporations. The corporations started bouncing. 2,000 points on the Dow went up. Yeah, I commend them the fact that the Dow is going up. But at the same time, in which type of degree do you want to get the Dow back? Do you want people to just die fast and just get back in motion? Do you want to continue this whole thing? Because even in South Korea, the numbers in South Korea were looking pretty nice. 14 cases every day, a good ratio, and all of a sudden it spiked up. The same thing went with China. China was having a moment of we're not having no new cases, we're just having people coming in and out. And guess what? People